y'all, it's Farmer MeeMaw, and today, when you're watching this, we're in the last 100 days of 2020. Hallelujah. So what I'm doing right now is, well, for one thing, I'm working on getting my greenhouse set up and emptied and cleaned out because it was overtaken with weeds. So I've got this stuff, and now we've had 2 days of rain and there are puddles because the ground is really uneven. I don't know how I'm going to address that yet, but right now I just want to kill the weeds. So I've got a lot of prepping to do in my kitchen today. I need to clean my kitchen. I've got some pumpkins that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with, how to process those. And I say pumpkins, they're upper ground sweet potato squash. They look like pumpkins, they're big like pumpkins, and apparently they taste like sweet potatoes and look like sweet potatoes on the inside. Anyway, so, but I've got some prepping to do because in my 100 days of change, one of the things that is really important to me right now, I've got to get my weight under control. I've been editing videos and I see how big I've gotten and it makes me want to cry. And while my husband is fine with it, he doesn't care. He's like, just be who you are and be happy with who you are. I'm not happy with the physical manifestation of who I am right now. And so I came out here and I was going to walk, and as I talked to you, I was going to get some steps. Oh yeah, I got my Fitbit on. I was going to get some steps in, only to realize like it's been raining for like 3 days, but right now it's like a fine mist and the wind is blowing, and so you're just like and it's chilly, and so you're kind of being hit with cold water, and so it wasn't that pleasant. So I came in here, but I'm really wanting to get on top of my physical fitness. I mean, I've gotten, actually the last few months I've gotten healthier. I've not gotten skinnier, but I've gotten healthier. I've gained muscle. I have pushed myself physically to some extent, and it's time to just continue and step it up. My husband recently got some of those bands, like the exercise bands that you use as weights. I'm going to start using some of those. I don't know if I'll ever put those in a video. Who knows? Maybe I will. But I've got to do some meal prepping to stay on track and to behave myself when it comes to eating. The air is filling. It's almost like an air tunnel. Anyway, so I've got to prep some chicken. I've got to prep some pork that needs to be put in the oven. The chicken's going in a crock pot. I've got some other things that I need to prep, like some eggs that I'll do in the Instant Pot. I need to start some beans soaking for my dog. The eggs partly are for my dog as well. We go through a ton of eggs. And so I've just got a lot of prepping to do, and I'm going to prep some salmon. I'm going to prep some of the things that I eat. Oh my gosh, y'all, there's a bug on my camera and I can't. I think it's, y'all, if I close my screen, I don't know. Hang on, y'all. I don't know what it's doing. Get off of there. It's like a little yellow jacket. Go away. Go. Okay. Go. I can see its stinger, y'all. Go. Alrighty then. Anyway, I have some prepping to do. So I'm going to go to the kitchen and I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to do some of another batch of my oatmeal and a batch of my better than oatmeal, which is really just kind of a really nutty and seedy chia pudding, and healthy. Lots of nutrients in it. So I will be going and getting things ready for the next 4 or 5 days is usually what I prep for. And yeah, I just can't, once I get in there, y'all, I'm probably not going to be talking a lot because I have to be quiet because my kids are doing their schoolwork. So let's go do that and let's see what I can get done. Now, let's kick it up. Time to get going. Come on.
So before I get started, I have to decide what I'm going to listen to while I do this tedious task. Sorry for the screen moving. My son is walking back and forth around the tripod and is like bumping it, opening the refrigerator. Anyway, so I'm going to listen to the Twilight series soundtrack today because I find that music really soothing. Later on, you're going to see that I switch it up and listen to Riverdance. Well, you won't hear it, but I will, because nobody can feel sluggish while listening to Riverdance. A lot of times I will listen to a podcast. Some of my favorites are Brendan Burchard. I like Tom Bilyeu. I like Trent Shelton and Dave Hollis. His is the Rise Together podcast. Ironically, he and his wife separated. They were this couple's marriage just experts, supposedly. And they have gone through a divorce during this COVID season. But I'm really enjoying listening to Dave Hollis. So yeah, let's do this. So now that sweet boy of mine has helped me unload the dishwasher, I'm getting ready to make some brown rice for my dog Josie. And some of you may know she does not do well on regular dog food. It doesn't matter whether it's hard dog food or soft dog food, canned dog food, it doesn't matter. She just throws up. So for the last couple of years, we've been making her own batch of, we make her breakfast and dinner every day, and that includes some brown rice, and so I'm making a batch now for that. I'm also now making some chicken. I'm putting these chicken breasts in the crock pot, and I'm going to be making some, I'm going to use that chicken to make some chicken salad, as well as just some shredded chicken for barbecue chicken for the boys later. Speaking of crock pots, you guys need to stay tuned because there is something coming along called Crocktober Extravaganza, and that is going to be hosted by Amanda over at the Fundamental Home, used to be the Fundamental Home, now it's the Bills, and it is also hosted by Lisa over at Sutton's Days, and there's going to be a month of crock pot and instant pot meals, and so stay tuned for more information on that. I will be doing a dessert a crock pot dessert, keto friendly, in the last week of October. So I just put some beans on in that other crock pot, and that is partly for Josie as well, and partly because you can eat beans when you're eating for your hormones, particularly progesterone, and so I may be eating some of those as well. And now I'm preparing that big chunk of pork to cook for some pulled pork as well. My least favorite task in the world, loading the dishwasher. ready to cook my eggs in the Instant Pot. I cooked them for 3 minutes. I think they could probably go for 2. I'm going to keep going until I figure out the best way to make the perfect soft boiled egg. So far, it still seems like they're overcooking in my particular Instant Pot. Don't know what's up with that, but yeah. Now the brown rice is ready to put in their container for the refrigerator. But look, you guys, do you see how light and fluffy that brown rice is? It comes out perfect, and it stores so much better than white rice. White rice will tend to dry out and get hard and caked together in the refrigerator, at least ours does. But this brown rice is so light and fluffy. Makes me want to eat some, but I don't, because it's a grain and I don't eat grains. Now I'm getting ready to pan sear some salmon for this upcoming week's lunches. So do as I say and not as I do when it comes to salmon. I could not leave it alone. I kept trying to check it, and you're supposed to just leave it alone. And I also think I didn't have enough oil in my pan, so it did end up sticking a little bit on the flesh side. The skin did pretty good. I was pretty proud of myself for that. But you guys, I have to tell you, please stick around until later in this video. My husband makes an appearance, and it's kind of funny because we're kind of not butting heads, but I'm trying to get one thing done, and he's kind of getting in my way, and I'm kind of getting in his way. And so yeah, you'll see kind of the back and forth that we have there for a minute. As you see now, we are now taking the eggs out of the Instant Pot and putting them in an ice bath. Kind of shocks them a little bit, and before you know it, those eggs are going to be so easy to peel. The other day, my son helped me to peel a bunch of eggs, and afterwards he said, that was so satisfying. I mean, you know, the things that kids say, but yeah, he enjoys peeling boiled eggs with me when they're done in the Instant Pot. Any other time, they're infuriating to peel. So at this point, my husband and my son are both in the kitchen with me. I'm trying to finish prepping, and my husband is getting ready to fix supper. So whenever I get the salmon put away, you're going to see me trying to clear off a place on another cabinet to put my Instant Pot to make room for me and my son to peel eggs. But my husband is trying to use that pot to put grease in it to make French fries. And so I'm moving it in one place, but he's wanting it somewhere else. And you see that look I just gave y'all? And so I'm trying to, y'all. And so now he pours it in there, and he pours too much, and I'm like, don't you think that's too much? And he was like, well, why didn't you say something? And he was going to pour it back in the bottle, and I was like, don't pour it back. So anyway, it was crazy, and I giggle every time I see that because that's just kind of the way we are, y'all. Anyway, so now we're going to get to peeling those eggs again, and my husband is going to try not to whack either of us in the head with that cabinet when he comes back to close the cabinet because he's good about closing cabinets, unlike me. So as you can tell by looking out the window, the day is coming to an end, but the work is not. I'm getting the last few dishes into the dishwasher, and just in time for the chicken to be ready to get out and prepare. I started out cutting it with my knife and then just realized, no, it's just falling apart. So I put it all in the bowl and just shredded it with my tongs and fork. I set a little bit aside for barbecue chicken, but then I just made the most delicious batch of chicken salad ever. You guys, I don't know why I haven't been making chicken salad my entire life. It is so good. What I did, actually, after I got all of that shredded chicken in that bowl, I added back a bunch of that broth from the crock pot. It just added some moisture back to the chicken. Y'all know how chicken breast can kind of get dry. And so I added a lot back into it. And then all I did was add chopped pecans, chopped apple like in small pieces, and cranberries, and a ton of Duke's mayonnaise. And it was so good, y'all. On that note, have a great night. I love you guys. Bye.